Brian VANDUYN here. Give me a second to let my chickens out. They're happy to see you guys. Come on. Hey, girls. Hey, Cockburn. Hey, there you go. Yeah. Good chickens. Anyways, I don't know if many people are even up yet or not, but I figured I'd show you guys what happened to the tilt deck. It happened, yeah, it happened like, I want to say probably 2 months ago or so. Yeah, I just woke up, so, you know, it's like 7:30. But, okay, so it happened like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. I did this demolition job. I did a demolition job, and it was like this small cabin. And when I was loading the excavator, the deck was really wet and slippery. And somehow, when I was loading the 120, right, here's the trailer, here's the excavator, I was going up it. Somehow, it's like slid off, right? And it slid off on the right side. And I thought I was going to die. I really did. I thought I was going to die. Because how violent it like slid off. And how fast it slid off. Like I had enough time to swing over and grab the, you know, the other side. That's how fast it happened. Like it was just, it was nuts. So anyways, I got everything off. I got the, you know, these off. That was kind of a pain in the butt, if I'm being honest. Because I initially didn't want to do any work right here in the middle of my turnaround, right? I wanted to do it up there out of the way. But one of these lug nuts I couldn't get off with the DeWalt because it was just spinning. As you can see. So the way this is designed is this has these bolts on the back that kind of hold the drum to it. Right? Interesting. Looks like it needs a new wheel seal too. Or maybe, no, maybe not. Maybe that just came out when, well, it needs one now that I got it all apart. But that's probably just from when I pulled it off. Probably dripped inside. Yeah, because it's not even oily around here at all. Okay, so here's the axle or the spindle. This part is the spindle, right? I think this part is considered the axle. I'm not sure how that works exactly. But what happened is we were on our way home with the big machine yesterday, and the driver's like, hey, man, I pulled over because it was smoking, you know, and we couldn't tell what was wrong, you know. He couldn't tell what was wrong, so we got it home, and what had happened was, let me take you under here so I can show you. Okay. You can see the crack right here where the S-cam goes in, right? This is the S-cam. It's cracked right there. Then you can see the bottom of where the S-cam is, right? So the S-cam was binding up right here with the brakes on, and it was smoking the brakes, right? So when we got back, we're like, oh, you know, oh. We thought for sure that the spindle was toast because you could see the tire was sitting like this. You know, it was sitting outwards. And we're like, oh, the spindle and the wheel bearings must be toast. And, you know, they're actually in good shape. You know, it's no scoring or nothing. And so finally got everything apart. Like, disassembling this it took me probably about 4 hours, I want to say. Maybe less than that, maybe 3 hours. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to the time. But there's that. That is a long S-cam. As you can see, we never greased this thing. I mean, why would you grease a trailer you use twice a year, 3 times a year, you know? Well, everything needs to be greased, you know? But anyways, this spindle connects to this suspension piece right here, and you can see it's broke right there. It's cracked right on the bottom right there. So I guess what my plan is I'm gonna cut this ring off right here, pull this piece off, cut the welds, pull this whole spindle off, and pretty much fix the whole square tubing that's cracked and broke if I can, and then put it back together. But here's my slight dilemma, and you guys are gonna run into this too with old equipment. You know, with a problem like this is kind of a serious thing, right? A broken axle is a really serious thing, you know. So if you fix it and it doesn't hold, then you risk, you know, doing some serious damage, you know. I think I bought this trailer. I think I paid $5,000 for it or something like that. It's a 20-ton trailer, which is very heavy for, you know, tandem axles like that. It's a shame they don't have a straight axle. I could just replace the whole axle. That would be so much easier. But they have this fabbed up. I know, right, Blake? I know. It's really kind of a crappy time for this thing to break down on me, you know, because I got all the machine work is starting to get lined up, you know. I got a job lined up for Sunday. I got a job lined up next week for the Mini. Both of them are the Mini jobs, so I'm lucky enough I'm going to be borrowing my neighbor's tilt deck trailer just to move the machines real quick. But I paid $5,000 for this trailer. I can replace it for about 15 grand. You know, if I could find a good one for 15, 14,000, maybe if I'm lucky. The question I got to ask myself is, like, is it worth it to replace this, or should I get a smaller trailer just for the Mini? You know, because I probably only haul the big machine twice a year, 3 times a year. The big machine weighs 26,000 pounds. The Mini, I think, only weighs 12,000. So, you know, it's hard to say what, you know. I haul the Mini probably once a month. Maybe twice a month sometimes. I don't even know. It's often enough that I need a trailer for the Mini. The big excavator, I could probably rent a trailer and be fine. It'd be cheaper than, buying another trailer. But if I can fix this trailer, then, we'll be money ahead. Kind of what I figured is another option I got is if I can't fix this, I can just take that pin out, disconnect the S-cams and the brake lines, and just take the whole undercarriage of this side and take it to a fab shop and have them fix it. Which I'm assuming would probably cost me around, $1,500, $2,000. It's really not all that sophisticated. All they got to do is cut that ring off, fix the square tubing, and weld everything back together, But, I sold the dozer. Yeah, I sold the dozer for $9,000. Or no, yeah, $9,000. I should have sold it for more, but the guy was a buddy and he'd been bugging me for the past 3 years. He paid me $7 already. Still owes me $2, but he hasn't picked it up. It's sitting over there. You can see it right there. And I moved the backhoe up to the gate. But this is what I'm working on today. I think what I'll probably end up doing is I'm going to try and fix this myself. I'm going to grind that weld off and pull that ring off. And then I'm going to see if it's something I think I can fix. Because it looks like, to me, if I just get like a rosebud, I might be able to heat this. I'm going to have to get my tanks filled too. But looking at the square tubing, it does not look like it's really tweaked that much. It looks like it's just this back part, You can see, like, it's just barely tweaked. I think the main cause of the problem is the cracks. Like this is cracked right here. That's cracked. You can see up in here, like, see that crack right there? And then you can see the crack on the bottom where the S-cam goes. There's also another like support beam inside of there. I may have to cut the end of this square tube off just to inspect the weld, because there is a square tube inside of here, like a plate metal that's welded up against it. I'm gonna have to inspect that too. Who knows? Who knows what all is damaged? Until I get this plate off, it's gonna be kind of hard to see. So I'm gonna take my grinder to it, grind this weld off right here, and see what we got. I mean, at this point, it's not costing me anything except for my time. So the only thing I got going on today is I got to go over to my neighbor's and deliver a load of rock, spread out a load of rock for him. So that's where we're at with the old girl, the old tilt deck trailer that I paid $5,000 for. And I just put tabs on the thing too. That's what's frustrating. Just put tabs on it. Man. And a tire. So, these things happen in business, Accidents happen. You just got to be willing to try and fix it. Yeah. Well, and that's like, That's like when drop axle was cracked in half on my old Peterbilt, though. You know what I mean? You remember that, don't you? Like, that drop axle was twisted all up and everything, you know, and everybody was like, oh, that's not worth fixing. That thing's just going to break in, this and that. And no cracks, no breaks. It's perfectly fine. You know, same with that tie rod that I welded up, too. The tie rod in between the drop axle. Everybody's like, just buy a new tie rod. I fixed it for like 20 bucks, you know. Just some metal I had laying around. I put a bar inside, welded it, put a cover over the outside, welded it. You know, still works, you know. Yeah, this is let me tell you, John, it's pushing my limits. Like, it's right there, like, if I want to fix it or not. Like, I mean, because it's a serious thing. Like, an axle is a serious thing, right? Like, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be straight, you know, or else it's going to eat tires. It's got to be straight, or else, you know, it'll heat something up. So I got to use some sort of a laser to make sure it's straight or something. I mean, with it in its condition right now, we already towed the 120 with it, you know, 3 times. We didn't even know it was cracked. We just knew that something was wrong because it would start smoking, you know. And we thought it was, you know, probably the brakes or something. And then turns out, then we thought it was the spindle because it was getting worse. Well, obviously it's getting worse, you know, because it's cracked. If we fix it, we fix it. If we don't, we don't. Like I said, worst case scenario, if I get into it and I feel like it's too much for me to handle, I can pull that pin, you know, pull the airlines off, just drop that whole right side off because it's not connected to the left side. Take the whole right side into a fab shop, and they would fix it no problem. You know what I mean? They would fix it no problem. And I'd probably pay them like $1,000, $2,000 to do it. And then I'd have to think, okay, did that 20-year-old weld it as good as I could have welded it? You know? You have to wonder sometimes, you know? I don't know. So that's where we're at with the trailer. I don't know. I may, depending on how this goes, if I can get that ring off easy, then this might be a fairly easy, you know, job. If I can't get it off, then, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to waste the time of taking it into a fab shop. I may take some pictures to a fab shop and say, hey, you know, this is what I got. Is this something, what's this going to cost me? You know, and then I at least have, you know, a solid a number that I can work off of. But if it costs more than $2,000 to fix that, it's just better for me to buy another trailer. You know, at the price that I can find a trailer, it's just, I think it'd be cheaper just to find another trailer. You know, because this one is super old. It's from the 80s, right? I could get something newer. Summer's right around the corner. I could easily get, you know, $20,000 trailer. I could get a 3-axle trailer, you know. But I don't move machines enough. And people always try and Jew you when you're moving a machine. Like, they don't want to pay nothing for moving machines. So, you know, I'm not really interested in moving other people's machines. Because they Jew you. The whole time they Jew you. Oh, man, you're just moving it 15 miles. Yeah, but dude, I gotta drive flipping 50 miles to get to the machine. Then I move it 15 miles, and then I gotta drive 60 miles back home. You know? And then they only want you to charge them like $200. It's like, dude, that didn't even cover my fuel, you know? Not happening, you know? I think if you're going to move machinery, like a low boy is where it's at, because you can just charge whatever and they have to pay it because, you know, not everybody's got low boy, but tilt decks are a dime a dozen, you know? Oh, it's a dove. So, I don't know. I even seen a low boy on Marketplace for $7,000. It's 1965. Or no, I don't think it was that old. It was old. Let me just put it that way. It was old. $7,000, low boy. Anybody who's out there in Oregon wants to get into the low boy business, I don't think you could go wrong with that price. But oh yeah. So cost me $700 to move my dump truck 80 miles. Yeah, see, at least they made some decent money. Every time I move something for somebody, they want to pay me like $200 or $300, $400. Hey man, if you're in the area, can you move this? It's like, dude, I'm never in the area. Like, why would I be in your area with a random trailer? Like, I don't just pull a trailer around so randomly if somebody calls me, I can haul on, you know. It doesn't happen. My trailer's always sitting in Shelton. Why would I just randomly pull by and move something for you? Some people are crazy, you know. It's like, that ain't the way it works. So, I don't know. I've been playing around with the idea of just getting like a tilt top, like, so part of it's stationary, the other part tilts, you know, big enough for the mini, and then calling it good, and then just renting somebody's trailer when I have to move the 120, you know, and just adding that into the bid. I think that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna see if I can fix this first. If I can fix this, then we're back in business. If not, then I'll probably just buy another little trailer, probably like a $7,000-8,000 trailer for the mini. Oh, it was a low boy. Yeah, see, well, see, $700. That's all he made for a low boy. He got paid peanuts. He did not make enough money. 80 miles. That's probably the only thing he did that day. $700. No. No, if I had a low boy and I had to move something, it would be costing $1,500 minimum. You know, that's what I would say, $1,500 minimum. And then the weight and the size up. You know, if that goes up, the price goes up. You know, it's just like those tow truck guys, those semi tow truck guys. If they tow your vehicle for under $2,000, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. They won't touch something for under $2,000. You know, why the heck should you touch something for under $2,000? You know, so. Oh yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. You know, because really, I mean, I still towed it with it the way it is right now, so it's not like it doesn't have a ton of weight on that one axle. It's spread out over all of them, right? So I'm pretty sure I can fix it. You know, I just got to get into it and just, you know, see what I can do. You know, that's the main thing. I just got to see what I can do, and so we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So anyways, guys, I got somebody bugging me about a job I got to do with the machine, so I need to tell them, say, hey, find somebody else or be a little more patient. So, all right, give me a second, guys. I'll catch you later.